Welcome to the session of second PUC syllabus. Under human reproduction, I am doing today regarding the embryonic the development, parturition, and then the lactation like that. In the previous class itself, we told you about the pregnancy. So the pregnancy is nothing but a period between the conception and the childbirth. That is the pregnancy. Then, what is gestation? Gestation is nothing but the period of pregnancy. Remember, the pregnancy is the period between conception, that is fertilization of the egg, and that of the childbirth or delivery. Whereas gestation is the duration of the pregnancy. Say for example in man, the duration of the pregnancy is 9 months. That is the gestation period. And during pregnancy, the overall welfare of the fetus is looked after by what? The placenta. Placenta is the one which forms a connection between the fetal blood and that of maternal blood. It is the one which is helpful in supplying oxygen, nutrients, and everything what required by the embryo. And it is the one which removes what? The carbon dioxide and other nitrogenous waste from the fetal blood. That means the entire welfare of the fetus is looked after by the placenta. Remember, as the development of the fetus proceeds, ultimately it leads to the formation of, after the first stage is the zygote, next cleavage, next is morula stage, the next is the blastula. After blastula you come across what? Gastrula. These are the series of developmental stages. So, in the gastrulation, what are developed? The primary germ layers are formed. What are primary germ layers? The primary germ layers are those from which the different tissues, organs and organ systems are developed. Remember, in any animal, unless the primary germ layers are formed, no tissues, no organs are altogether no organ systems at all. First of all, the primary germ layers by name, the ectoderm, that is the outermost layer. Then the middle layer is mesoderm and the inner layer is endoderm, like that. These three primary germ layers are formed during gastrulation. And from these three primary germ layers, the tissues leading to organs, organs into organ systems are all developed. Say for example, from the ectoderm, the nervous system is developed. The epithelial tissue is derived. Whereas from the mesoderm, major part of the organ systems like that of the reproductive system, the epithelial tissue, blood, the connective tissues, muscular tissues, everything is developed. Whereas from the endoderm, again epithelium. Epithelium is derived of course from all the three primary germ layers, and even the digestive system and some of the endocrine glands are developed. So overall we can say that until unless the primary germ layers are formed, no tissues or no organs or no organ systems like that. So primary germ layers are the layers from which the tissues, organs and organ systems are derived or developed. That is about the pregnancy, gestation and the primary germ layers. Now, let us know about the embryonic development. The embryo can be even referred as what? Fetus. So here, the fetus can be written even FOETUS or even FETUS. The alternative term or the technical term for the embryo is the fetus. How actually the fetus develops? What may be the duration of the pregnancy? Duration of the pregnancy or period of pregnancy is what? Gestation. Now, the gestation period in human beings is 9 months. In this span of 9 months, what are going to be developed? One after the other month like that. Observe here, in 1 month, that is, in the first month, the heart of the embryo develops. That means the embryonic heart develops in the first month itself. By the end of the second month, the limbs, 4 limbs and 9 limbs, with digits are developed. And then, by the end of the first trimester, remember the duration of the pregnancy is 9 months. This can be divisible into 3 trimesters. So as you are aware, 3 months together form 1 trimester. So there are said to be 3 trimesters. That means first trimester means it includes or it covers 3 months. By the end of the first trimester, the limbs and then external genital organs are developed. And of course, the limbs development began by the end of the second month itself, but it is progressed in the third month also. And the external genital organs are developed. That is either maybe the vagina in female child, the embryo, or the penis in case of the male embryo. Then by the end of the 5th month, what are developed? Hairs are developed on the head region. And by the end of the second trimester, that means by the end of 6 months, the body, on the body, tiny hairs on the body is developed. Such hairs are said to be very tiny. Then the eyelids already developed, but now the eyelids are get separate. And then there is the formation of what? Eyelashes. Where the eyelashes are developed? The eyelashes are developed on the rim of what? The upper and lower eyelid. So these eyelids are helpful in preventing the entry of foreign particles into the eyes. Then this is by the end of the second trimester, as the development proceeds and along with the months, by the end of the 9 months, the fetus is completely developed. Now we can be referred it as what? A child or baby. By the end of the 9 months, almost all the embryo complete its development, and of course, by the end of the 6th month or in the middle of the 7th month itself, the entire thing is developed. That's why there are sometimes the premature child is born. That premature child may survive, but it has to be placed in incubator, and the individual may not be physically and mentally normal. So by the end of the 3rd trimester or by the end of the 9th month, the fetus is completely or fully formed and ready for birth. And ready for birth or ready for delivery. That is the embryonic development. Here you have to consider, remember the gestation period is 9 months and is divided into 3 trimester. So one trimester covers 3 months. So what are developed in the first month? Heart develops. That means it is the heart which develops or appears for the first time in the embryo. And then by the end of the second month, limbs and digits appear. And there is progression in the development of the limbs and the digits. And by the end of the first trimester, the limbs along with external genital organs are developed. By the end of the fifth month, there is what are known as the development of the hairs on the head, and the first movement of the baby can be felt by the mother during this fifth month. And then by the end of the second trimester, the tiny hairs appear on the body, and then the eyelids separate and there is formation of what are known as the eyelashes. And by the end of the 9th month, the fetus or embryo is completely developed and is ready for birth or delivery. That covers what? Embryonic development. Now let us know about what is known as the parturition. Parturition is nothing but what? A labor process. Or simply we can say it is the process of what? Childbirth. Or even simply called as what? Delivery process. That is the parturition. The childbirth or the delivery process is controlled by both nervous system and then endocrine system which secrete the hormones. Particularly which hormone is responsible for delivery? It is the oxytocin. Oxytocin. Thereby the entire delivery process is controlled both by nervous system and the endocrine system. How the signals are developed for the delivery process? The signals are developed by the fully formed fetus and the placenta. So the fully formed fetus and the placenta induce mild contractions of the uterine wall. On the inner wall there is endometrium lined by epithelial tissue, remember. In the middle layer there is myometrium, and in the outer layer there is perimetrium, which cause contractions of the uterus. It is nothing but myometrium. So remember, myo in the sense what? Muscles. This myometrium is found in the middle layer of the uterus, cause mild contractions of the uterus. So this is called fetal ejection reflex. This fetal ejection reflex is degenerated due to the combined effect of what? The fully formed fetus and the placenta, which together induce mild contractions of the uterus, which in turn lead to this fetal ejection reflex. Now, as a result of this one, it induces the release of what? Oxytocin hormone. Where oxytocin hormone is secreted. Oxytocin hormone is secreted from the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. So this oxytocin hormone is even called as birth hormone because it is responsible for the childbirth. It is released from the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. The mild contractions of the uterus induces the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland to secrete oxytocin hormone. As a result of which, to some extent, there is increase in the rate of what? Uterine contractions. As the uterine undergo contractions, that in turn induces the more secretion of what? Oxytocin. As a result of it, there is high quantity of what? Oxytocin hormone in the blood. This increase in the oxytocin hormone induces the vigorous contractions of uterine the wall or myometrium of uterus. As a result of this vigorous contractions of the uterine wall, naturally it helps in pushing the baby to outside. So, through which the baby come out to the new world. It is through birth canal. What do you mean by a birth canal? I hope you know the neck region of the uterus is what? Cervix. Cervix leads into what? Cervical canal. This cervical canal leads into what? Vagina. So this vagina and the cervical canal together constitute what? Birth canal. Birth canal. This birth canal become widened during what? Delivery, due to the influence of an hormone by name relaxin hormone. The relaxin hormone is secreted by the placenta and even from the ovary. That relaxin is helpful in widening of this pelvic girdle. As a result of which, the birth canal that includes the cervical canal and the vagina is get widened and makes the delivery process to be easier. As a result of this, the baby is expelled from the body of the mother. So during the expelling of the baby, there is even expelling of what? The placenta. Placenta is also said to be fall off from the mother's body along with bleeding. Hence the type of the placenta is called deciduate placenta. What do you mean by deciduate placenta? Deciduate placenta in the sense, if at all the placenta is fall off from the mother's body along with blood loss or along with bleeding, then only it is called deciduate placenta. Of course, the placenta in all placental mammals is fall off from the maternal body after the birth of an young one. But in other cases, like the cattle like that, the placenta fall off from the mother's body with no bleeding. If at all there is no bleeding during the discharge of the placenta from the maternal body, then such a placenta is called indeciduate placenta. The indeciduate placenta is found in all other mammals. The deciduate placenta is found only in human beings. That is the regarding parturition. Lastly, let us take up the lactation. What is lactation? The milking period of an animal is called lactation. Particularly, as you are aware, the mammals possess what? Mammary glands. The mammary glands produce what? The milk. The milk is necessary for the nourishment of the young one. So the period of milking is called what? The lactation. What is done? Breastfeeding. Breastfeeding in the sense, the feeding the nourishment of the baby by milk from the milk gland is called breastfeeding. The breastfeeding is said to be very, very essential or very important to develop the immunity system in the newborns. So there is what is known as the colostrum. What is colostrum? The colostrum is nothing but a pale yellow colored milk secreted or produced in all the viviparous mammals during the initial period after childbirth. This colostrum is pale yellow color. It usually secreted for a period of about 5 to 7 days after the childbirth. Why it is called? Why it is pale yellow in color? The pale yellow color is due to the carotene pigments. And then it contains rich amount of lactoalbumin and lactoglobulin. So these two, the conjugated proteins, are helpful in providing the immunity system or developing the immunity system or resistance in the newborns, which may last even for a period of about 6 months. Hence, the breastfeeding is very, very important for the development of the immunity system in the newborns. That is about the lactation. With this, the first chapter of human reproduction under second PUC syllabus is completed. In the next class, I will take up the human health. So thank you one and all.